Our commencement speaker this morning, State Representative Aarón Peña.
Thank you, President Cárdenas, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, proud and relieved parents, friends, family members, and most importantly, to the outstanding class of the year 2006. Thank you. It's great to be at the University of Texas Pan American again. I especially want to thank you, the graduating class, for inviting me. It's good to be back. When I was invited to speak, I had just one concern, and that was that some professor here would stop me and say, "Hey, Mr. Peña, you forgot to take a class, you forgot to take a test, and you haven't graduated." But it's good to be back because my memories of this place are fond. But if I could sum up my experience here at Pan American, I could sum it up in one word, and that word is struggle. It's probably a word that many of you also understand quite well. You see, I was the kid here at the university who was the last to turn in his test. I was a kid who took classes over and over again until I got it right. I was a kid who was on the 8-year graduation plan. If there was an award for the least likely to succeed, I probably would have received that award. But I was lucky because I had great faculty members and great teachers. And they pushed me, they prodded me, they challenged me, and eventually they molded me into something useful. At that time, there is nothing that drove me more than finishing. And on this day, you can say the same. It is your graduation day. Congratulations. All the late nights in the library and the long hours studying and struggling have finally paid off. You have succeeded in achieving a goal that so few have accomplished. Today, the future seems limitless and brighter horizons await you. But let us take a moment to recognize those who were your first teachers, those who made you the focus of their lives, those who themselves have struggled with you at every turn. From diapers to diplomas, they remained a constant in your lives. At this very moment, I dare say they wonder how their baby grew up so fast. Each of them is filled with the pride of generations. You have made them so very happy. Students, faculty, guests, let's all give a rousing applause to the real heroes of this day, the parents in this audience. More than any other influence, they and the dreams they carry have helped make you what you are today and what you may become tomorrow. Now, on behalf of your parents, they've all instructed me to inform you that that student loan that you have is your first job as an adult. And by the way, they need the space, so it's time to move out. I think this is the day that we parents graduate ourselves. I have to say I'm pretty humbled to be here. This commencement marks the first time in over a decade that this university, compelled by growth, is having a summer graduation ceremony. More than that, the promising statistic that should awaken a nation is that nearly 70% of you are the first generation in your family to attain a college degree. As some in this country take a misdirected and regrettable course of fear, and fear of everything that is foreign, of everything that is different, here in this room lies the reality and promise of our shared future. It is the stuff of dreams coupled with the power of an education. The phenomenal growth and increase in the number of graduates coming to the University of Texas Pan American is not only a testament to the hard work of this institution's faculty and its leaders, but it's also a testament to the struggles and successes of your parents and those who came before us. And so it is there that I first look to find the wisdom that will carry you past the obstacles of life. In addition to the great education this wonderful institution provided you, the timeless values of our parents, of our ancestors, and of our community will provide the framework upon which such knowledge will grow. Hard work, determination, faith, family, and sacrifice. These are the values that have served our people through the ages. You didn't need a formal education to learn these values. We knew them each and every day by watching our parents and our grandparents. These values flow through you like the blood in your body. More so than any other time, it is time for us to listen to the voices that are in our blood. My grandfather, like so many others, came to this country with nothing more than a second-grade education. He picked oranges and worked in the sweltering fields of South Texas, barely making a living to support my father and the remainder of his family. But in his veins, there flowed some powerful stuff. Dreams of a better tomorrow, and the willingness to fight for them. In the end, it's that hope that came through by the education of his children. One of my favorite stories of history is the story of Frederick Douglass. As a child born into slavery, he was separated from his mother at 6, and by law, he was kept from receiving an education. In fact, it was punishable by death. Douglass eventually learned the alphabet by listening to his master's wife reading the Bible to her child. Frederick Douglass went on to learn to read and became one of the nation's strongest voices against slavery. And slavery ended, in part, it could be argued, because a woman taught a small child to read. And from such small beginnings, the beginnings of our parents and our grandparents, history has been changed. It is a dream coupled with an education. Think for a moment of the struggles of our own parents and of our own grandparents. At times, I imagine a conversation my grandparents had before coming to this country. They came with nothing but the name that they had, the clothing on their backs, and the dream of a better future. No skills, no education, no family in this country. They didn't speak a word of English, yet they were willing to work and, more importantly, determined to see their children live a better life. And I'm glad to say that my grandfather, like your parents, today saw his dream fulfilled. 2 of his children graduated from college and went on to become superintendents here in the Valley. One of them went on to become one of the early Mexican-American lawyers in this state. You see, we stand on the shoulders of giants. Sir Isaac Newton was once asked, what did he attribute his success? And he answered, he said, if I have seen further than others, it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants. We are the lucky ones. We confront obstacles and think life is tough, but we have learned many lessons from our parents and those that came before. But with great power comes great responsibilities. We learned that from a popular film of your generation. I ask that you accept this truth. On behalf of your parents and this community, I would ask that you accept the responsibility of our future. Yes, we all want to see you make a living, a comfortable living. This is an important aspect of life, there is no doubt. But please always remember that you don't make a living by what you get, rather you make a living by what you give. Let me give you a shortcut on your journey. After you get a job, after graduating from this university, after you get a brand new shiny car and live in a nice house in one of those nicer subdivisions here in the Valley, somewhere along the road you will realize that these are not the things that will make you happy. Happiness, you see, comes from giving to others. And many of your parents have learned that because their lives were about giving you something, about giving you a future. At a time when this country's obsession with the glamour of wealth continues to grow, this task will be challenging. But consider for a moment how a nation was changed by teaching a child to read. Think for a moment how your lives were changed by the sacrifice made by your parents and grandparents. Find your purpose in life. Reach back and help others on their journey. Help those that are least likely to care for themselves, the sick, the elderly, children afflicted by drug addiction. Remember these words. A man never stands as tall as when he kneels to help a child. And there's so many in our community who need help. And so with your education come obligations. I would also ask you to start thinking outside of yourselves. You know, here in the Valley, we're very proud of our local high school football teams. We're very proud of where we come from. But we have to learn to think as a region. We have to learn to think of a region that works with our neighbors. Because we now live in a global economy and we have global responsibilities. Change is always going to be inevitable, but we can choose to react with fear and distrust of others, as some suggest. We can build walls and fear our neighbors of anyone who is different. We can deny that we are responsible for world problems, disease, poverty, or responsibility for our environment. Or we can embrace the challenge and accept our place in this world. One of our country's greatest strengths is the diversity of its people. We cannot allow our darker fears to control the destiny of this nation. We must act on love, intelligence, and mutual respect of ourselves and our neighbors. As President John F. Kennedy told us once, for in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air, we all cherish our children's future, and we are all mortal. Lastly, never give up. Never, never, never give up. I stand before you not because I was the smartest guy at this university, because I was not. I stand before you not because I had the best grades, because I did not. I stand before you not because I was the most popular, because I was not. But I learned lessons taught to me by my parents and grandparents, never, never to give up. Be willing to make mistakes and learn from them. Embrace them. Never give up. Look around you. The proudest people in this audience are people who know this, and this is probably the greatest gift they have to give you. Their perseverance got you to this point. And now in closing, on behalf of many people who have brought you to this place, let me ask you to be true to who you are. You are blessed with simple values of a determined people that have overcome great obstacles. Our hopes, our faith, and our love travel with you. Continue dreaming big dreams like the dreams of your parents and grandparents. Find purpose in the service of others. Learn from our struggles. This world will undoubtedly challenge you and present you with obstacles and test your very fiber. If you're willing to take risk and willing never to give up, success will be your own. Thank you so very much, class of 2006. Congratulations on your graduation. May God speed you on your journey. God bless you.